Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. And I hope you're keeping your cool over there, wherever you are. I hope you're keeping your cool. Now, no one's watching right now, so I'm going to wait for a couple of people to come in. But I guess I'll just ramble until then. Or, I'll just get started. I don't know. But yeah, I hope you're all doing okay. I think I'm like a couple minutes late. I actually don't know. I can actually check. Am I? No, I'm like 1 minute late. Okay. I'm like 1 minute late to being live. But I wanted to take some time to ground first before I came on here. And I have like some lavender on my hands that I've been working with. Lavender has been my saving grace for like the past week or so. It's very calming and relaxing, but it can also help with grounding, it can just help kind of streamline everything and bring everything into alignment so you're like a clear circuit of energy. So it's been helping me a lot. But I wanted to take some time to ground first before I came on here because I noticed that because of the amount of fear that is in the air right now, for someone like me that has been getting a lot better at maintaining their composure and staying grounded and being able to kind of like push away other people's energies, right now it's tough. It's tough because pretty much I would say most people on social media right now are talking about the coronavirus. So it's not like it's one or two or three people that are just, they're afraid of something that's going on in the news, so they post it here and there, and you can kind of like block that out and avoid it. But right now it's like it's everywhere and it's in the air. So it's like as soon as I got up this morning, I could feel it, but also at the same time I got my own stuff going on. Like I'm working on my own stuff where it seems like just even within me, I seem to be getting broken open right now. So that in and of itself shakes you up and messes with your foundation, and you're already kind of ungrounded because you're going through such a big shift and change. So along with this coronavirus thing, I have felt the need to just kind of take a step back from social media and just kind of take some time to be in my sacred space, to listen to some music. Music is like one of the main things that I do that really helps me to center and have some peace and brings me joy. Spent some time creating, doing some drawing, and I'd like to get to some painting soon. But just tuning back into those things that bring joy and happiness. In the midst of all of this craziness that's going on in the world. Okay? So if anyone's here, or whoever comes in, please say hello. I'd like to know who's here and who's watching. But I want to get started on my thoughts about this whole thing. And I'm going to start with some things that maybe you have heard 100 gazillion times already. Hey, Lauren! Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching me ramble on and on about this crap. I know you said you've been wanting to catch me live for a while, so I'm glad you were able to catch me this time. I hope you're doing well over there, by the way, wherever you are. So I want to start with some things that you guys have probably heard 100 gazillion times, but need to be reiterated. But then I'm going to take things to another level with some stuff you might not have heard. And this is kind of like, it's different. Hey, Jessica, thank you for joining. I'm so happy to see you. I hope you're doing well with all this craziness. So the other stuff that I'm going to talk about is stuff that you probably haven't heard or haven't considered, okay? It's stuff that's been on my mind, and it came to me last night because something happened in particular that kind of blew my mind, and I was like, okay, no, so I need to talk about this. Hey, Shayna, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Keeping your cool over there, girl. All right, so of course I want to talk about the whole fear thing. The thing is that I don't blame people. I don't blame the average person for being afraid. Yes, allergies have been crazy. I've been feeling the allergy thing for the past few weeks. I'm like, oh shoot, allergy season is starting kind of early, so I'm a little bit nervous about how the allergy season is going to be this year. So the thing is, I understand with the coronavirus why people are afraid. For the average person, when stuff like this happens, that's exactly what people do. They get afraid. Ultimately, they get afraid of they're afraid of getting sick and dying. You know, it's a natural fear. Like, I get it. You know, it's something that most people have. You know, in order for you to not be taken over by fear, it's something that you have to work at. You have to constantly realign and reattune yourself to your peace. And, you know, it takes a lot of life training and life experience for you to see that there really is nothing to be afraid of on the most basic fundamental level. Even in the worst of situations, we always have a choice as to whether we're going to be afraid or not. And after a while, you start to see that, you know, fear, while it's natural and you need to embrace it, it doesn't necessarily serve you in the best way if it's taking over you to the point where you're becoming irrational, okay? So the thing is with this whole thing, there's also a lot of misinformation I noticed. So a lot of people, I noticed, like I said, on my page, I had to unfollow a couple people because all they were doing every 2 seconds was posting about the coronavirus. And it's like, okay, listen, can we talk about something else? Like, we know, like, how bad this is. Like, we know how crazy it is or whatever. And we know how afraid people are. And the thing is, I understand people that want to stay on top of what's going on, but I personally don't feel we need anything else but the news to let us know what's going on, or the CDC. We don't need that much beyond that. So instead of, you know, rambling on people's pages about it, I just, like, you know, unfollow. You know, I don't need that. I don't need that extra fear in my life. I've got enough going on. So, you know, that's the thing. Like, I've had to do that in order to kind of just keep myself clear and grounded. But we really have to be mindful of fear getting to the point of being irrational, where we start getting to the point where we're tuning into, like, energies where we're so fearful that now we're like, we feel like we need to fight for our lives, when really we don't, you know? So we need to be very mindful of that. You know, people fighting over toilet paper, which honestly, I still don't understand. I still don't get that. Somebody please explain that to me. What toilet paper is going to do? How is that going to keep you from getting the virus? It doesn't make any sense to me, okay? So, you know, that's where I have an issue, is when fear triggers you to become violent, and it has a tendency to, when you're overtaken by fear, it has a tendency to make you become violent and belligerent and just, you lose your mind. So I think, you know, I've said this before, not necessarily with you guys on live, but I've said it before, where, you know, you have the choice whether to be afraid. And then some people were like, well, no, if there's a reason to be afraid. You should be afraid. It's like, no, I think I understand the fear, but I also feel like what I support more is the concern, being cautious, being aware of what's going on. I don't feel that we should completely close our eyes to what's going on in the world. You know, I think it's good to be aware of what's going on, but I don't feel that it's black or white. I don't feel like we need to choose between either being stark raving mad or being completely oblivious to what's going on, okay? So I feel that I can be aware of what's going on without resorting to that level of fear, as we all can. And if you think about it, whatever is required for us to keep us safe on a physical level, like, you know, washing our hands, you know, making sure we're not touching our face, touching our eyes, touching our nose and mouth, you know, making sure we're keeping our house clean or whatever. We could all do all of that without the extra, without adding so much more to it than we need to add to it, you know? So I can wash my hands and stay clean and stay perfectly calm, you know? We all have that choice as to how we're going to allow things, or how we're going to navigate through a situation, okay? And I honestly, last night, I wrote this stuff down because I didn't want to forget anything. Yeah, so I don't really feel like it's a matter of being worried to the point where we're losing our cool and we're allowing fear to make us so crazy that we're actually messing up our biological equilibrium, so we can actually mess up our immune system by being this level of afraid. I mean, that's a high level of stress on the body. So you're really doing more damage to yourself if you allow fear to take over you that much. So, and if you think about it, like, what is fear actually going to change? I think this is something that we need to consider when it comes to fear, that we can't be afraid of fear either, but we also have to ask ourselves, what is being afraid going to change? What is it going to, is it going to stop anything? Like, is being, exactly, fear lowers your immune system. And is fear going to stop us from getting the virus? You know, is fear going to, like, you know, imagine if the virus was like a human being and like saw us like, oh, well, they're afraid, I'm not going to go to them and infect them. It's like, being afraid is not going to make things any better. It's not going to change the situation. The only thing that can possibly shift the situation is by us doing what we need to do for ourselves. You know, I mean, on a physical level, that's like the main thing that we can do. And also to just be sure that we're taking care of ourselves. You know, see, this is why I always say self-care is so important. This is why I feel self-care is important when it comes to work, to make sure we're not working ourselves to death, because that can mess up your immune system too. If you're always working, and you don't make time for yourself to take care of yourself, to eat right, you know, all of these things are our top priority. Making sure that we're well taken care of. And, you know, I feel like people will argue with you about that. It's like, well, I don't have time for that. I got to work and pay the bills. It's like, okay, well, your body's going to make sure that at some point you have time where you make the time to take care of it. Okay. So at some point your body starts screaming out for help. So this is why self-care is really, really important. Okay. Okay, so now here's the next thing that I want to talk about, okay? And this is something that maybe you haven't heard yet. And it's just, oh my God, like, I heard this last night and I've been hearing it a lot. And, you know, I really feel like I need to talk about it. So now, there are a lot of people in the spiritual community, especially with what would be considered New Age, that are saying, well, you know, you have to keep your vibration high, blah, blah, blah. And it's not that I disagree, but the thing that I disagree with is when they're saying, well, if you keep your vibration high, it'll keep you from getting sick. Or if you keep your vibration high, you know, you won't resonate with the virus, or you won't resonate with getting sick. And I was like, I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I think that keeping your vibration high will help to keep you at peace. It'll help you to focus on what's truly important, you know, beyond washing your hands. You know, it'll help you to stay focused on your nature, as your true nature as a being of love and divinity, you know, which is helpful for dealing with any sort of situation, you know, so that we don't fall into this kind of survival mode and then we do stupid things. So keeping your vibration high is important, you know, staying in love and peace and joy. However, I don't agree with the idea that keeping your vibration high will bar you from getting sick on any level. Okay? Because the thing is that none of us really know what we signed up for when we came into this physical body. None of us really know. Okay? And I know a lot of people that are very talented, and I know that people that are very talented healers, and people that are just, I mean, beautiful in terms of their energy and their vibration. And you can still get sick. Like, keeping your vibration high doesn't mean that you're not human anymore. I mean, we have to come to terms with the fact that we are human, okay? We are also other things. We're spirit, you know, we're we're beings of light and blah, blah, blah. But we're living in a physical vessel. And if you're living in a physical vessel, there are certain things that you are just prone to. There are some traditions that even say the body has its own karma, you know, that it has to deal with. I'm not saying that I agree, but I'm just putting that out there. Exactly, Jessica. The main thing that we could do for ourselves on a spiritual level is just to keep our minds clear, okay? So that with whatever is happening, we can function from a place of clarity, and we know exactly what we need at any given point, okay? But yeah, so I don't like this idea of a lot of light workers, oh, that's interesting. Lauren, maybe you should message me about that. Or you just explain to me more on here what you mean. So yeah, I don't like the idea of people perpetuating this idea that if you keep yourself at a high vibration, that you're not gonna get, whether it be coronavirus or blah blah blah. I read some posts too from people that have said, well, you know, I haven't gotten sick in 20 years, and, you know, I haven't had the flu or whatever thing in the last 10, 15, 20 years. Thing is, you don't know what's going to happen to you, and you could very well get the flu or something else without even expecting it. Okay? And the thing is, within this past year, I actually got the flu, and I hadn't got the flu since I was 10 years old, and I'm 30 now, okay? So it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've had the flu. However, what I did notice is that when I got the flu, and I had to take some time off of work, thank God, I had to take some time off of work and recover and everything, but by the time I got out of that flu, I was completely transformed. I was moving in a new direction. Hi, Mom, how are you? Thank you for watching. By the time I was out of that flu, I was headed in a new direction. So, I mean, something like that, maybe some people would say, well, you got to keep your vibration high and blah, blah, blah. But the reason why I ended up getting sick wasn't because my vibration wasn't high, it's because something was shifting. And sometimes what can happen is when something is shifting internally, that can kind of throw off your energetic balance, and you can get sick. And it can manifest as a cold or a flu. And then by the time that you recover, there's some sort of shift that has occurred. You know? So yeah, I personally feel that sort of idea has the potential of being spiritually arrogant, you know? Because I feel like it's telling people, well, my vibration is high, so I can't get sick. And if you get sick, that means your vibration isn't high enough. It's like, you know, come on now, please. Like, don't do that. You know, don't do that to people. And here's the thing that really triggered me to come on here and talk about this is, there's a group that I co-moderate with a friend of mine, and we haven't really been on the group in a long time, but sometimes we still get requests for people to join the group and to post things in the group. However, someone had requested to post something that I actually read through and then I declined. I was like, you are not posting that. Okay. And what she was saying was pretty much what I was saying just now about how, you know, if you keep your vibration high and you stay focused on your true nature as a love and light being, blah, 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 you're not going to get sick. But then they took it to the next level and said that you can protect yourself to the point where if you, let's say, have sex or sleep with somebody that has AIDS, or if you kiss someone that has the coronavirus, you will not get it. Okay, so please somebody tell me. Please somebody tell me. Like, what? Like, really? Oh, and I said to myself, you are not putting that on my page, on my group. You are not promoting that, okay? Because this is why it's important that on the spiritual journey, you stay grounded, okay? Exactly. Nope, nope, and nope. I am not on that boat. I am sorry. And this is why once I read through it and I saw it, and I was like, no, absolutely not. But I'm sure that there are a lot of people that actually believe that if you are a certain, like you're a light being and you transcend, that no matter what you do, nothing's gonna happen to you. And I just don't believe that, you know? It's like, really? Like, you do realize you're still human, right? Like, anything could happen to you. And if you think about it, we all die. Something's got to take you out of this world. What do you think it's gonna be? You know? Like, what's it gonna be? Something has got to take you out of the physical vessel. You know? Whether it be sickness, whether it be an accident, whether it be, and I'm sorry to get dark and grim here, but it's the reality. Whether it be, you know, you just go to sleep and you don't wake up because something goes wrong, something has got to take you out of the physical body, you know? So, we need to stop promoting this idea. I'm saying we because we're all connected, you know, so we're all in this together. I'm not promoting that idea, but I'm observing it, and I'm observing it a lot. So this needs to, yeah, sure. Yeah, Crystal, you can share it if you want. Absolutely. So we need to stop promoting this idea that if we keep ourselves at a high vibration, that we are beyond any kind of anything, because I personally don't feel that to be true. And then there are some people that probably say, well, that's why it's not working for you, because you don't believe it to be true. It's like, I don't know. Yeah. I just think that even as spiritual beings, we need to be wise in what we're doing. And I'm not going to sit here and act like because I'm spiritual and because, you know, I'm wise or whatever, that I shouldn't wash my hands. Like everyone should be washing their hands. I'm not going to act like I'm going to go into somebody's face and go right up to them and have them talk in my face, knowing that all this is going on. You know, we still have to be smart, you know. We can't be trying to find the right word. We can't be nonchalant. I'll say that. We can't not care. So, bringing the point full circle. There's a difference between being afraid and being cautious and aware. Okay? And we do not have to allow ourselves to fall so deeply into fear that we act irrationally. And we also don't have to put a blindfold on and act like what's going on in the world isn't actually happening. You know, we can be aware of what's going on in the world and still maintain our peace. I actually think that that's a pretty good test. I think it's a good exercise for people that are working to raise their vibration and still be in the physical world, is to maintain your peace even in the midst of chaos. I mean, I feel like that's a good way for us to see what our progress is. You know, how can we still maintain our composure even when all this craziness is going on in the world or going on around us, whether it be on a global level or even on a personal level with our families, you know? So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to talk about. It was like 2:00 in the morning and I'm like, oh man, like, should I go live now and talk about it? It's like, but I want people to be able to tune in and see, you know, to be able to see me live and talk about it, and, you know, so you guys can share your opinions and thoughts and everything. But yeah, so I hope you're all doing well. Stay safe. You know, if you need to, please take a break from social media or whatever. I have found that I've needed to take a step back and just focus on myself because, I mean, the air is just thick with everybody's emotions and their feelings of fear and desperation. So I'm like, okay, I just need to, I need to disconnect for a while, and just pull back. And sometimes that's what we need. Okay? So, I'm sending you all so much love and so much light from my heart, and you know, keep me posted on what's going on with you. And I will be keeping you posted also, because there was another video that I wanted to post, but this came into my mind. I'm like, no, I got to talk about this first. So maybe within the next few days, I'll post the other video that I wanted to post. Okay? Thank you, Lauren. Yes, Jessica, absolutely, absolutely. Take that time, girl. I think we all need it. So I send you so much love, and I'll be posting this on YouTube so y'all can rewatch it, okay? Or, you know, whatever. So I'll see you around. Take care. Love to you. Bye-bye.